Hello everyone and welcome along to the ULC pre-season test as we get ready for the start of the ULC season 3 of the United League Championship, and it's the first season where we go onto the PS4. After 2 seasons on the Xbox, we finally arrive on PlayStation, and well, we've just finished our qualifying session from the pre-season test. We're all just really warming up for the start of the season, which is coming next week at the same time, 8:30 we start in Melbourne. Well, we've got 10 leagues all getting ready to get into it next week, and yeah, we've got 12 drivers out there at the moment. Some drivers here, some drivers not. You know, it's just like any F1 pre-season test where some teams turn up, some people don't turn up, and that is the case here tonight. So do not be alarmed if we're missing a few drivers. It's quite simply a case of a pre-season test, and it was optional. A lot of drivers chose to turn up, some of them have not chose to turn up. And as the race starts, I'll inform you who has and who has not turned up. But I've got quite a few drivers here, quite a few very quick drivers here. We've got the fastest drivers from all the leagues on PlayStation, and I'll be running through them as the race goes on in a few moments time. So this is a real chance for the drivers to eye up their opposition and see who's the quickest, who's the slowest, and so we can try and establish some sort of pecking order as we go to the first race at Albert Park in Melbourne. But for now, it's all pre-season stuff, and hopefully we can keep you entertained over the next 45 or so minutes as we get ready for the start of the race. We've got Shimasi on pole, representing Inside Line Racing League, and the lights are out and we are racing here in Bahrain. Shimasi gets a good start, Skeven alongside. These two love battling in leagues. We've seen them racing quite often as they go into the first corner in Bahrain, and look at that, up the inside goes Skeven, looking to take the place, but at the moment it's Shimasi leading the way for Inside Line Racing. He's first and he's followed up by Supreme Racing League's Skeven in second as they go down towards turn 3 and 4, and at the moment it's Shimasi leading the way. And look at that, SML Carey coming around the outside and taking second place away from Skeven. Lovely driving there. He moves up into second place around the outside, but it is still Shimasi in the lead. It's Technica in 4th, it's Tempfear in 5th, Tiger Kart 6th with Jake 7th, and the other Jake Davies in 8th position. Stocky in 9th. Let's have a little look down the field and see what's going on, as it's very, very tight, well bunched up in the midfield as we ride on board Jake Davis, who is representing the TGP series this weekend, or in this championship I should say. In front of him we've got Jake representing PSGL, and he's making a move on Tiger Kart there, and he goes up into 6th position, and it's a lovely move. And look at that, Jake has really been swallowed up by the pack, and coming alongside him now is Stocky from the UPL, and he makes the position, and look at that, he's making up another position on Tiger Kart as well, so 2 places in 1 corner there for Stocky, and it's getting really bunched up in that mid-pack at the moment. At the end of the first lap though, it is Shimasi crossing the line in the lead with SML Car in 2nd place, Skeven in 3rd, Technica is 4th, and then he's really getting very close to Skeven. The front 4 already starting to break away from the rest here. A really tight fight at the front, and I can assure you guys, expect to see a lot of this as the 10 rounds in the championship commence next Tuesday, 8:30 UK time, 50% races. And yeah, we start off in Melbourne, then we head to, oh, we got a shunt there, that looked like a bit of lag actually, and that was Technica going off the track, and I think it was Skeven he collided with. It certainly looked like lag on my screen, and that's an unfortunate incident there, and Skeven drops right down to 12th place. Not at all what he was hoping for. Thankfully for him, it's only pre-season, and now he's got the attentions of Softcop of the TGP series right behind him. Now, a lot of these drivers I am aware of, I've covered, I've commented on, and a lot of them I'm not so aware of. But Softcop, he's one I'm very aware of. He's right down at the back at the moment, and I can assure you, he's not used to being down there. If he can find some pace over the next week or so when we hit to Albert Park, just maybe, he will be the man to beat. But we'll have to wait and see. There's so many quick drivers in the field. It'll be interesting to see what strategy the drivers choose, and just got the tyres loading up there. We've got a lot of drivers running on super soft. Jake Davis going for soft, and Shortbread in 10th position on the medium tyres. But out front it is Shimasi still in the lead, SML Car in 2nd, Tempfear 3rd, and Jake alongside him in 4th as they go down the start finish line to start the 3rd lap. The DRS not quite active yet as they go down the start-finish line. It will be at the end of this lap, I would think. It usually is active on the third lap, but not going across the start-finish line on this occasion. And Tim Fear holding off Jake at the moment in the battle for third, fourth and fifth. And the two UPL drivers sandwiching Jake of PSGL in the middle. But out front, Shimasi 6/10th gap, and they're pulling away the front two. Really starting to pull away out in front. And we've got a little battle going on down near the back as well. I think that's Skeevan trying to make his way back through. We've got a car in the middle of the road there. I think that was lag. Hold on a second. Never mind. Never mind. I thought it was something else. Something important. My apologies. I thought there was something up on my stream when I received a message there, but no, there's absolutely nothing wrong. So back to the action. And out in the front, it is Shimasi now pulling out a full second advantage at the front of this field. So there you go. The administrators and the drivers in Inside Line Racing will be watching on, pretty happy to see that. They'll be cheering on their man Shimasi out in front. So, with the race calming down a little bit, let's have a little rundown then. We've only got 13 runners here at the moment, but we will have 20 next week, and I can assure you that. But let's have a quick rundown now of the drivers we have involved. Starting off with PSGL, we've got Jake and Shortred, both those drivers here tonight. They'll be hoping to compete for the championship, as all the drivers will be, as we got a little move going on here. Technica and Tiger Cut rubbing wheels, look how close that is. Going into the first corner, now climbing the hill, and look at that. Tiger Cut getting a great run out of turn 2, and then they run up the hill. Can he find a way past the Mercedes driver? No, he cannot, and he tucks in behind and stays in 5th place for the moment. But yeah, Jake and Shortbread representing the PSGL, and Softcop and Jake Davis representing the TGP series. Auto Racing Connected represented by Mitch GK90 and Jacksonga. I'll try and get the names right, I do apologise if I'm not. And then the Spanish Motorsport League, SML Marchetti and SML Carre. And both of those drivers are also here tonight. Then we've got the UPL, as I've mentioned, the two McLaren drivers, Ted Fear and Stocky, Straight Line Racing Technica and Thomas. And both those drivers are here as well tonight. And Supreme Racing League, only one driver appearing tonight, and that is Skeevan, who was seen in the wars earlier on, trying to make his way back up through the field. The other one unable to attend. That's Matt Meerkat when you're looking out for him next week. And representing the Inside Line Racing League, we've got Shimasi, who's out in front at the moment, and the other one also could not make it. That is, sorry, I do apologise, that's Ace of Pace, or sorry, yes, Ace of Pace, that's his PSN, I'm just trying to remember that. He's not here tonight either, the man from Sweden. And representing the IF Championships, we've got Pit Matt and Tiger Cat. No sign of Pit Matt here tonight, but Tiger Cat is in attendance as we see another battle going on down into the first corner. Once again, it's Tiger Cat in a battle, and again dropping back. He's just dropped back behind Technica, and he's now dropping back behind Jake as they climb the hill. Is there any way to come back? Yes, there is a way to come back. He's diving up the inside as they're about to head into what is really a single file area of the track. We'll see if it is single file as the two drivers head through it now. Tiger Cat and Jake holds him off. Sorry, Tiger Cat makes the move, sorry. No, holds him off, sorry. He holds off Jake. And keeps his position in 5th place. But lap 5 out of 29, those super soft tyres will be starting to cry, starting to wear out. It'll be interesting to see when we see these drivers come into the pits. But this is quite a good indicator of what kind of pace we can expect from the field when we arrive in Bahrain, some kind of pecking order, because of course it is the second round of this championship, and it's a little bit like real Formula 1, where when they arrive in Catalonia after the flyaways, everyone knows who's quick at Circuit de Catalunya because they've been racing there and testing there for so long during the winter. But I tell you what, this is a cracking battle really shaping up here. Shimasi unable to shake off the Spaniard, SML Car, off his tail, and at the moment he's under some real pressure here, it has to be said. Is there any way he can have a look into the first corner? Doesn't look like it. And he remains tucked up behind Shimasi, and some ILR fingernails will be getting bitten, I would think. Even at this early stage, even in the pre-season, that will be happening, because the teams are so kind concerned to see if their team are doing well or not. It's so important. It's just like a whole winter's testing. They arrive at the first race and they want to see if they've got the pace or not. And I can assure you, all these leagues and all their administrators and owners will be hoping their drivers can put on as good a show as possible for their league. But lap 6 out of 29, it is Shimasi out in front. We've got Skeven continuing his charge through the field, and look how tight this is. What a duel this is between 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Skeven in 8th as we get a little bit of lag there. We've got SML Marchetti making a move up into 9th place with Chomas right behind him. Soft Cup unable to make any inroads. We've got a spinner there. Who was that? Technica dropping down the field and rejoining a tad unsafely. But he gets going again. I think Stocky has been the first man into the pits. He's fitted a set of the soft compound tyres. So Stocky, yep, there it is there on your screens. First man and the only man into the pits. He's fitting a set of soft tyres. We'll see how far he can take those into the Grand Prix. Shimasi though still holding on with SML Carey right behind him. 10th Fear now in 3rd position. We've got Jake in 4th, Tiger Car is 5th, Shortbread 6th, Skeven 7th, and SML Marchetti in 8th. Jomas 9th, and alongside him now Softcop trying to make an impression. He's been right down at the back of the field for a long part of this race. He's now going to try and climb up. He goes side by side with the Ferrari. Jomas down the start finish line. And is he making the move already? Yes, he is. The DRS open on that Ferrari, and surely he will outbrake his opponent and complete the move into the first corner. And indeed he does. Softcop moving up to 9th place, and that will please the boys down at TGP. Stocky down at the back then. Can he use the clean air to his advantage, the fresh tyres to his advantage, to try and get right in amongst the guys ahead? You can tell you Shimasi's currently the man with the fastest lap as we go back to Skeven, who really has been enjoying, well, I don't know if he's been enjoying himself. He's been certainly getting involved in a lot of battles as he runs very wide, and is that a chance for the Spaniard SML Marchetti to go right round the outside? He tries it, and he's not going to disappear from there, is he? Skeven under real pressure here as he goes towards the hairpin now. Banging wheels, this is what we like to see. This is what it's all about, this league, the ULC. We want to see leagues rubbing wheels. And this is exactly what we're seeing, the best drivers in the best leagues rubbing wheels side by side, and Skeven's still holding on, but SML is going to have another look, and there you go, Skeven, 1 minute looking at the car in front, makes one small mistake, and through the door goes the Spaniard, and moves up into 7th place. A frustrating afternoon continuing here for Skeven, or should I say, a frustrating evening. Absolutely lovely stuff from SML Marchetti. Great racing from the pair of them to give each other the respect. And racing room almost throughout the entire middle sector they went side by side as we now see a pit stop from Tiger Car making his way into the pit lane now, slowing down to 48 miles an hour and now entering his pit box. What tyres going on the Red Bull? It looks like a set. Is that mediums? It looks like mediums to me. It's actually showing softs on the timing ladder on the left. It's now showing softs. Strangely the game toying with our heads a little bit there. So he's gone to softs. Skeven's gone to softs, and Softcop as well, fitting the soft compound tyre. Where are they in relation to Stocky then? That'll be interesting. Here comes Stocky down the pit straight. He's cleared Skeven, he's cleared Softcop, but he's not been able to clear Tiger Car, and the UPL driver can now chase after him and see if he can find a way past on those soft compound tyres. They'll be up to temperature, so this is your best opportunity to pounce. When the opponent's just out the pits on cold tyres, but Stocky unable to get close enough and make that move. As we now go back to SML Marchetti, who's on a bit of a charge at the moment. He's cleared Skeven, who's now pitted, and now he's onto the back of Shortbread, who is running, of course, on the medium tyre. So that's a pretty impressive stint from Shortbread, given he's on the mediums. Will he be trying a one-stop strategy here? Is he the only man trying the one-stop? We've got drivers trying super softs and softs, but Shortbread, the only man to have used the medium thus far. Will he go medium direct onto a set of softs, or will he have to go medium, super soft, super soft? It will be interesting to see what Shortbread has up his sleeve on lap 9 out of 29. We await the first pit stops to be completed. 4 or 5 cars, I think, have completed them at the moment, as SML gets right up behind him now, and they go side by side across the start finish line, and it looks to me like this is going to be simple stuff. Premier League against Championship with those tyre differences, and through goes SML Marchetti. He makes another move and climbs up into the top 5. Wonderful stuff, textbook stuff really, and he finds his way through as we now have Chumas in the pits. What's happened at the front between Shimasi and SML Kari? I've missed that. Has Shimasi went for a spin, or have they collided? Apologies for missing that one, folks. I did not see that. There's been so much action going on further down the field, but I don't know what's happened there to Shimasi. Hopefully we can we'll find out about that later on in the Grand Prix as to what's happened to Shimasi. At lap 9, and it's SML Kari leading the way, doing a superb job. The Spaniards showing up the rest of us from the United Kingdom, showing them who's boss at the moment here, and doing a fantastic job as it stands. Well, it's going to be very, very interesting to see which league will be the favourite going into the opening round. But from what I know, I mean, I don't want to sit here and say I know what I'm talking about when it comes to all the leagues, but I know that Shimasi's quick. I've seen his pace. Inside Line Racing will really feel they've got a good chance, and as will the SRL. You know, I commentate on both Supreme Racing League and ILR, and Skeeven is a very, very quick driver as well when he's consistent, when he finishes, and obviously he's dropped right down the back of the field now, but due to that earlier collision, which I felt was due to lag. But those guys, two guys I think are very, very quick. Stocky as well, I know him very well, and he'll be looking to make an impression. But it's now 10th Fear out in the lead of this Grand Prix, and as all the pit stops continue to be made, let's have a look now to see who has stopped and who has yet to stop. Let's have a look what we got. Stops, yep, all but the top 4 yet to make a pit stop. So from 5th down, that's your order at the moment. And behind, we'll see where 10th Fear joins in, and where SML Marchetti joins in, and Shortbread and JD in a few moments time. But Shortbread now continuing on those medium tyres. I'm surprised if he can go much further than 16, 17 laps. But I would think the one stop might be his intentions. He might go from those mediums onto a set of soft tyres and do the one stop, or as we now lose Skeeven from the race. He's had a spin, and he's had a bit of a nightmare, Skeeven. Not at all going to plan for him, and that's what I was saying. If Skeeven can be consistent, he can be at the front and compete for the Supreme Racing League, but again, not consistent. Okay, it was unfortunate earlier on, but he's had enough. It is only pre-season, so we'll see what he can do. His 10th Fear now comes for the pits, or does he? Well, the game's playing with us there, but he's coming in. Shortbread going long as we expect. Will SML Marchetti come in? Yes, he will. Those guys going the longest of everyone on those super soft tyres. And we got a little race in the pits here. This is why these guys... Oh, onto mediums was that? It is medium tyres. Now, does he feel he can take them all the way to the finish? Well, you would think so. What's that? Around 18 laps from SML and 10th Fear. One-stop strategy. That's what's good about Bahrain. We get so many split strategies. It will be very interesting to see. Soft Cop went for softs, remember. Tiger Cut went for softs. Stocky went for softs. A lot of cars down the midfield going for soft tyres. But Shortbread and JD, the only cars out there now yet to make a stop. We'll see where they rejoin in the near future. So Soft Cop now up into 7th place. He's slowly climbing his way back through the field. He was down at the back of the pack, remember, very early on. So his undercut has allowed him to climb up as high as 7th now. And where will he be in relation to Shortbread and JD when they make a pit stop? Let's have a little look at the gap to the leader. 21 seconds, so it'll be very close with Shortbread and Jake Davies. And it'll be very interesting to see which driver, or if Soft Cop can get ahead of either of them. So, Shortbread out in the lead. Jake in 2nd, SML Kari in 3rd. He's now got that gap around 5 seconds, holding it there to Shimasi after what we don't know happened to Shimasi. Something happened, we don't know what. But he has dropped down a good 4 or 5 seconds behind him, and that's kind of ruined the little battle that we had going there between the two leagues at the front, which is a bit of a shame. As we got GD in the pits. Jake Davis, where will he rejoin? We think just around Soft Cop, around Tiger Cut. And SML McCarry will be hoping to jump them all, because here they are here, all doing battle down the start-finish straight. If he can get ahead of them and use the fresh tyres to his advantage, he'll be pretty happy. But look at that, side by side down the straight. SML on the inside. We're going 3 wide here. Stocky down the middle, and is that... there's Jake coming out of the pits now, in behind them. Stocky in there as well. What a battle this is. And it looks like SML is 7th, Stocky 8th, Tiger Cut dropping down to 9th and really struggling to get his elbows out here. He keeps dropping down the order. He was high as 4th or 5th earlier on, and now he's dropping backwards. SML 7th, Stocky 8th, Tiger Kart 9th, and Soft Cop now up into 6th place. Jake Davies though, down to 10th on the mediums, and he will be doing a one stop. So we've got Soft Cop, Stocky, Tiger Kart, Tumas and Technica doing what we think will be a two stop, and the rest going to the end on those medium tyres. Apart from Shotbread, of course, who's yet to make a stop at all. Now let's have a little look and see if the gap is coming down at all between Shimasi and SML Car. Around 5.2 seconds between them. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if Shimasi can bring that down. Even if we don't end up with a battle towards the end of the Grand Prix, I think it's important to see the difference between the two drivers on race trim and see if Shimasi can close that gap on those mediums. But for now, all the action is happening between Tiger Kart and Stocky in the battle for 8th and 9th. Can Stocky find a way past Tiger Kart as they reach for the brake pedal at the final corner? And Tiger Kart getting a little bit of curve there. That might affect his exit, his traction. And right up behind him is Stocky. He can sense blood here. He can smell a chance at 8th position. The McLaren Honda, not usually overtaking cars, but it is in the hands of Stocky. He goes side by side with Tiger Kart. He tries to go right round the outside. Braking very, very late with Tiger Kart. He lets Stocky know that he's there. Stocky puts his hand up at the cockpit saying, what was that? Well, I'll tell you what that was. That was hard, fair racing. Tiger Kart refusing to give in. He forced Stocky to go the long way round by defending to the inside. Braked very, very late. And forced his way up the inside and held on to that 8th position, and the battle rages between these two. Well, Stocky feel the need to send one up the inside in anger. No, not into this hairpin. It can be done. You can catch drivers out into that corner if they have a scruffy sequence of corners prior to that, where it's of course all about aerodynamic grip through that section, and if cars don't have that aerodynamic downforce, then you can pounce. And Stocky now lining up Tiger Kart again as they go parallel with the pit straight down this short DRS straight, and now up into towards the final sector of the lap. Very difficult to keep the throttle down through there. You're always waiting to pick it up. You don't want to slide wide, and now into that final sector. Now there's the timing beams just there, and now down another straight. This straight's usually all about setting it up for the drivers to try and set the move up and then complete it down the start-finish straight. Can Stocky do it this time round? He's going to have to get to the inside quickly, because you can't help but feel Tiger Kart's going to do the same thing again. And there you go, move straight over to the inside of the track, making it very, very tricky for Stocky to move to the inside. He has left a gap though if Stocky fancies it on the inside. Hey, he is going to go for it on the inside. Stocky tries to outbrake Tiger Kart, who brakes very late and holds on, and all this is allowing Jake to get involved on his fresh medium tyres. Can he now take full advantage and peg these two guys off on the soft compound? Stocky going to the inside, trying to frustrate Tiger Kart, trying to surprise him really by going offline, get him nervous in his mirrors. But this at the moment is the best battle on track. I can tell you, if you look at your top left, Shimasi is closing in now on the Spaniard, SML Car. And look, Jake having a look up the inside there of Stocky. But again, no way through. You do feel though, if you are struggling for straight line speed, it tends to be down to lack of downforce. That you would think he's running a lot of downforce if he's lacking straight line speed, so you'd think maybe that corner there, that hairpin's a good opportunity. If the car in front has got low wings on, you can maybe pounce, but not on this occasion for Jake, as they climb the hill once again and about to enter the final sector. Lap 14 out of 29, we're just about to reach the halfway point. In fact, we are at the halfway point, and Shotbread is continuing on those mediums. And you would think a lot of the drivers that have pitted to fit mediums will be keeping an eye on his progress, see how deep he can go into the race. And look at that, Jake really rubbing with wheels with Stocky now. He basically touches him, he banged wheels with him there into the final corner. Amazingly, no damage to the front wing on that Mercedes, and no puncture for the McLaren. They go side by side towards the first corner, and Stocky, having looked like overtaking Tiger Kart a few laps ago, is now losing out to Jake. And Jake moves up into 9th place. Can Stocky respond in any way as they climb the hill? It doesn't look likely. And Jake looks to have sealed the deal and moved up to 9th. Or maybe I'm wrong. Here he comes, Stocky, braking very late up the inside and lets him know he's there. Almost hanging about to try the exit, and it's a brilliant move from Stocky. Straight back up the inside of Jake, and he takes that 9th place back once again. Good racing between the pair, and really enjoyable to watch. And that's what the ULC is all about. United League Championship, getting all the best leagues together and having a right good race. All the best drivers and all the best leagues on PS4 doing battle, and it might only be pre-season, but already I'm getting pretty excited for the race next week at Albert Park. Jake again having a little look behind Stocky, but once again unable to find a way past the McLaren. This is really starting to compromise Jake's race. He wants to make the one-stop work. He needs to clean air while the tyres are at their best, and right now they are at their best. He's just pitted, but he's unable to do anything to find a way past. The shortbread finally completes this marathon stint on the mediums, and will probably now go for a set of soft compound tyres. And indeed he does, and he'll take these, or is that super softs? Again, I've got to wait till the game decides what it's put on, and it is soft compound tyres for shortbread, and he will go to the end of the race, a 13-lap stint. We'll see how it goes for him. Where does he rejoin then? He was leading. As look at that, we've got Stocky again doing battle, which is now for 8th and 9th, and has Jake finally done it? They're banging wheels again. Jake's getting his hand out the cockpit. What a duel this is as they climb the hill. Oh, I think we're going to lose Stocky. We have, into a spin. And I tell you what, that was coming, lads. That was coming. They were banging wheels and getting away with it for as long as they could, but eventually Stocky ended up going for a wee half spin and drops down to 11th place, and his chances of getting into the top 10 here today look to be over. Anyway, back to the front of the action. We've got 10th here lining up Jake for a move of Softcop, really starting to make some good progress here. I did say he was a quick driver and he was out of position earlier on, and that's the proof. Up into 5th place now, and really looking at a potential podium here, which would be promising in the pre-season test for the TGP series. I think they'd take that after the early start he had. Can Softcop move himself into position and attack 10th here, and Jake ahead? Well, it promises to be a very intriguing battle for that final podium spot. And not only that, Shimasi really starting to chisel away at that lead out front. 3.6 seconds now. It was 5.2 a few laps ago. And maybe at that rate of knots, I wouldn't be surprised if we do have a battle come the end of this Grand Prix. So stay tuned, folks. We might well have a battle for the victory come the end of this race. Not only that, we're going to have a battle for the podium as well. Who's going to pick up the final podium slot? Will it be Jake? Will it be Temp? Or will it be Softy? We've got PSGL, we've got the UPL and the TGP series all battling over that final podium spot. I wonder who will bring home the champagne on the pre-season day as we bring down the curtain. No, sorry, don't bring down the curtain. We open the curtain, I should say. We're not bringing down the curtain yet. It's far too soon for that. As we open the curtains on a new era for the ULC, a first ever season on PS4, and I hope it's a successful one. It promises to be. And lap 17 out of 29, and so far the first 17 laps of testing or racing, as it really is, have been very enjoyable. I've enjoyed every moment of it. I hope you guys have in the comments. Please feel free, lads. We can have a little vote on Drive of the Day for all you guys watching. Vote for your Drive of the Day, and come on, lads, don't be biased. Don't pick the league that you're racing in. Pick a driver that you think, be a neutral, and decide who you think has been the driver of the day. And I'll even right now give you an idea of the position change and show you who's moved up positions there. Softcop's moved up 8 from his starting position. SML Car up 2, Shimasi down 1. Another big mover, SML Marchetti, up 6 places from his 12th place starting position. So one to keep an eye on, and be sure to comment and let us know who you think should be the driver of the day. So let's get back to the action and the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. It looks to me like Jake is starting to pull away a little bit maybe from 10th here. Oh, we've got a battle in the background. Is that Jake? It is Jake, and he finally clears Tiger Kart as well. So he's cleared Stocky, now he clears Tiger Kart, and Shortbread won't be far behind because he's also doing the one-stop strategy. Tiger Kart going back up the inside of Jake, but surely his tyres are finished and his chances of making the move are also finished. He's going to have to concede and drop down into 8th position. And look at the rear end sliding on that Red Bull car. We're really starting to struggle for grip, and surely Jake Davies will waltz off into the distance, and Shortbread's next up to have a look at Tiger Kart on those fresh soft tyres. So remember, led this race for a good period of time. He done a 16-lap stint on the mediums before moving on to these soft compound tyres. We've got a little bit of lag here. Hopefully that can sort itself out before this battle commences. which is not too good. But Jake needs to keep an eye here. He needs to keep an eye on Shortbread. Try and build himself a little cushion here while he's stuck behind Tiger Car, because they're both on the same one-stop strategy. But Jake Davis is doing the slower stint now, and Shortbread did the slower stint earlier in the race when he did that marathon stint at the start. And hopefully that lag can sort itself out. As Shortbread runs very, very, very wide coming out of the final corner, but no issues, because into the pits has come Tiger Car for his second stop, as has Softcop. He'll be making a charge back through the field again. He's already done it once. Technica moves up into 8th place, so Softcop in, Tiger Car in, Chomas in for their final pit stops of the afternoon. And Stocky down the back, he's had a forgettable day. He's been in the wars, he's been battling with several cars. A little half spin earlier on didn't do him any help either. But as Softy, Tiger Car and Chomas rejoin the racetrack, it'll be interesting to see if they can make some inroads in the cars ahead. But Jake now will be disappointed to have seen Tiger Car come into the pits so soon, because that's released Shortbread on those fresh and faster soft compound tyres to have a look at him. And can Shortbread home in and make the move? They're both catching SML Marqueri as well. He's been on the medium tyres a little bit longer than the two, I think. Meanwhile, Shemasi, look at that, folks. The gap down to just 2.5 seconds, and maybe the pressure is beginning to tell on SML Car out front, as he's starting to be a little bit under pressure here. 2.6 the gap. Oh, I think we're in for a fine finish to this Grand Prix. 9 to go. Shemasi slowly whittling the gap down bit by bit. Who's going to take home the spoils in the pre-season test and put a marker down? Will it be Inside Line Racing League? Will it be SML? Stay tuned to the end of the Grand Prix. Will the Spaniards get the first laugh on the opening night in pre-season, or will Inside Line Racing pick up the spoils? We'll find out as the laps tick down, and Shemasi continues to have the bit between his teeth, down to 2.2 now. The gap really beginning to come down, and Shemasi in that Renault really getting a move on now. The Inside Line Racing boys down in the garage can sense it here. They're looking very, very excited. Contrast that with the nerves down in the SML garage, looking a little bit concerned, that has to be said, down at the Williams pit box. Has their man got the pace to hold on? The gap 2.1 and coming down. Meanwhile, Shortbread down to 7/10 on Jake, and as we suspected, those soft tyres are paying dividends. He's closing in now onto the back of Jake, and can he find a way through and take the victory? And also, folks, let us know in the comments, who do you think is going to win it? Do you think it's SML Car? Do you think it's going to be Chimasi? Which of the two drivers do you think will bring home the bacon here today on the opening night? It's going to be one of those two. It certainly looks like that, unless they come to grief and end up colliding. 1.7 now. He's taking nearly half a second a lap out of him. Wow, wow, wow. Shemasi loving this. Absolutely loving the hunt. As Shortbread continues to gain on Jake Davies. Can he find a way past before the soft tyres lose their optimum grip? I tell you, a man who has got their optimum grip, Softcop, because he's just set the brand new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, going to the end now on those super soft tyres in that Ferrari. What can he do in the closing laps? Can he push himself back up towards the front of the field? As Shortbread and Jake Davies continue to do battle. It's always good to come to Bahrain. I do enjoy having the various strategies put in play. Many of the races on the calendar will be one-stop races, but it's good to have a little bit of variety here in Bahrain. Some drivers going for 2, some drivers going for 1. The front 6 on mediums. By the end they will be all on old mediums. Can the likes of Shortbread, Technica, Softcop make some inroads on those medium runners come the end of the Grand Prix and get into the top 6 that is being dominated by the one-stopping drivers on mediums. All those drivers went from super softs to mediums, looking like the optimum strategy at the moment, but we'll soon find out if anyone from 7th down can get their way into the top 6 But if there's anyone going to do it, it certainly looks like Shortbread at the moment. He's right up behind Jake, and the pair of them are both catching SML Marchetti. So a real chance for Shortbread to get right up into the top 4 or 5 here. And just in front of that, they can actually see Temp Fear going through turn 1 and 2. So it's going to start bunching up pretty soon between 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. We might be entering a little bit of a slow burning stage of the race at the moment. The Grand Prix a little bit of a slow burner, but come the end, it really is going to lighten up. And look at the gap at the front, 1.3. As we have a little duel between, oh no we don't, we've got Technica in the pits. And he's on to a set of the super soft tyres, and he heads now back out onto the track, rejoining at the back of the pack in 12th position. So let's have a look at Shortbread. That looks like the closest battle on track, right up behind Jay. And you got to say, the best overtaking opportunities on the racetrack are without doubt into the first corner. And then even after that, that's what's good about Bahrain, there's so many places you can do it. You can do it down this straight here, if you get a good run out at the hairpin, or the driver in front makes a mistake at the hairpin. You can do it there, or you can do it down the back straight before you come onto the pit straight. And of course, on the exit of turn 1 and 2, you can have a run up the hill. So there's plenty of overtaking opportunities on this track. And Shortbread is about to show us one of them as he heads down the back straight. No DRS on this particular stretch of road, but there will be in a few moments. Look at that, he widens the entrance to the corner to get the best exit he can, going down the start finish straight. Is this the moment Shortbread takes that 6th place away from Jake Davies? He's been defending for a while. He's not had to get his elbows out just yet, but I've got a feeling he might be getting his elbows out right now. Shortbread dives to the inside, but thinks better of it and stays behind him for the moment, as Shimasi now finds himself within DRS territory. Oh, he's flickering inside and outside DRS territory in front. Keep an eye on that one, folks. I'll be going to that in a moment if we don't have a move here in the coming corners. And look at that, Shortbread getting very, very frustrated, running very wide. And this is where it's really painful. You really start to damage your tyres through the middle sector, following a car in front. All the dirty air, especially with these 2017 cars with the increased aerodynamic performance that they have, just makes it harder and harder to follow. And now Shortbread getting a little bit flustered. He runs very wide again as we lose Stocky from the Grand Prix, but we have to go to the battle at the front. Shimasi slowly but surely cutting and slicing the gap down from 5 seconds, from 6 seconds. It's gone down to 4, to 3, to 2, and now he's within DRS territory, 7/10 behind SML Car, who on the opening night, on the pre-season test night, is going to sleep well over the next week is before we head to Albert Park. Who's going to become the bookies' favourite? Will it be SML Car, or will it be Shimasi representing Inside Line Racing League? Keep an eye, folks, it's going to be very interesting over the next few laps. We've only got 5.5 to go. Will it be Shimasi? Will it be SML Car? It promises to be a thrilling finale. 6/10 a gap. And I can tell you the tension is building down in the Renault and down in the Williams garages. Absolutely brilliant stuff here on the pre-season test night. Can Shimasi get onto his tail? Look at that, right up behind him, tucked up behind him now. Surely it's a matter of time. But these Spaniards, they're feisty, they love to defend it. Have we lost SML Car? It's showing up as AI. No, we haven't. I wonder what that was all about. His car showing up as AI there for those that spotted it. I was concerned that we might have lost him from the race, but thankfully we haven't, and I can take a fresh intake of air because I'm enjoying this, and I don't want to lose a driver due to connection issues. So down the back straight, where does Shimasi feel like his best opportunity will be? You've got to think it's down into that first corner. That's where most overtakes are done on this circuit. The only issue is if you brake late into there and make a move, you're vulnerable going up the hill towards turn 4. Here we go then, Shimasi closing in, SML trying to break the toe. He can sense the danger here. Shimasi breaks very late, tries to scare him by going the long way round, sets himself up now for a run as they climb up the hill on lap 25 out of 29. Shimasi of Inside Line Racing League, can he turn the tables on SML Car? Not on this occasion, as he reaches the brakes at the end of the first sector. He remains stuck behind him, but you have to feel it's a matter of time as they go weaving down the hill through the high speed right, then left, and into one of the two hairpins in this middle sector. Shimasi braking a little bit late, missing his apex, and SML can breathe a sigh of relief and have a little bit of respite as he opens the gap out to around 6 tenths, and that is not within striking distance for SML car, for Shimasi. Meanwhile, Jake Davis still stuck behind, Shortbread still stuck behind Jake Davis, and you have to feel now, has he had the best of those soft tyres? How are they starting to fade now? And is it all about whether Jake Davis can pass SML Marchetti? Is that the question? You have to wonder, because Jake Davis has seemed to have weathered the storm that was being thrown at him by Shortbread and has now turned his attentions to the car ahead. Meanwhile, coming out of the final corner, running out of laps, they're ticking by. Lap 26 out of 29. 4 to go. And still SML car holding that advantage in the lead. This Spaniard. Can he bring it home the bacon? Nice to see that C. Jammett, one of the men running Supreme Racing League. Shimasi actually races in both Inside Line Racing League and the Supreme Racing League. He is representing the Inside Line Racing League, and it's nice to see that C. Jammett, despite Shimasi racing in a rival league, is cheering him on because he does represent him in some way by racing in the Supreme Racing League. So he's cheering him on and hoping that Shimasi can deliver here, which is nice to see. But still, no way through for Shimasi. He just cannot get an exit out of the corners where it's important, and SML car continues to defend. In fact, you know something, he's not really actually had to defend in a braking zone yet. Okay, he's had to break the toe a couple of times, but no more than that. And Shimasi has been left, well, picking up crumbs really, picking off crumbs. He's not really had any real opportunity. Let us know in the comments, guys, where do you think, if at all, Shimasi can do this move? If he can't do it in the straights, is there any way he can do it? Is he running out of chances? The gap's at 6 tenths and it's been unable to close. And as Murray Walker once said, it's one thing catching someone, but it's another thing trying to pass them. And SML car weathering the storm really well on lap 27 now out of 29, holding the gap, and Shimasi not close enough whatsoever on this occasion. And still the Spaniards are doing the job here. They look like they're going to win here today, unless Shimasi could deny him in the closing moments. What's happening further down? We've got a lot of close action going on here. We've got Stocky dropping down because of course he's no longer here. He's getting lapped now. 10th Fear in 4th position. He's got SML Marchetti on him. I did say this would close up. 10th Fear a little bit slower than SML Marchetti, and JD and Shortbread quicker than them both. So it's all closed up into a four-way battle. They were quite sporadic earlier on, but we have to keep an eye on this as well in the closing laps. Not only the battle for the lead, but 4th, 5th and 6th and 7th all closing up nicely. 4 different leagues represented in 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. You've got the UPL, you've got the Spaniards at SML, you've got Jake of the TGP and Shortbread. All closing up nicely. Oh, and Shortbread really getting the rear end out there and is now right onto the back of Jake. I thought Jake had weathered this storm. Clearly has not. Has Shortbread found a second wind, or second bite I should say, in those tyres? And can he now really sense threatening that top 6, which is dominated by the drivers who went from super softs to mediums? Can he finally find a way into the top 6 and make a move on Jake and chase after the 2 cars in front? He really has to get on with it and make that move sooner rather than later if he wants to get in towards the top 4 or 5 places. Round the final corner, and we have to keep a real eye on SML as well. He's right behind 10th Fear. Can Marchetti find a way through as they go across the line to start the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix? He's closing and closing and closing, but not close enough as he hit the brakes. What about Shortbread? Again, not close enough. Tiger Cat and Technica doing having a little duel as well further down. But it's all closing up nicely. Getting rather tense between the leagues at the moment. I can just imagine all the league owners, even in a pre-season race, all the administrators and owners biting their nails in the closing laps, because this has really been a tense affair. I think that's the best way to sum it up. It's been action-packed at times, but tense in other occasions, and this is a perfect example. Temp holding up SML with Jake and Shortbread waiting in the wings if there's any incidents. Meanwhile, out in the front, we have to go back to that for a moment. And I cannot see how Shimasi's going to find a way through here. I really cannot. It's looking increasingly good for the guys at SML. They're doing a fine job on the opening night. Can he find a way past Shimasi as we go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix? Doesn't look like it, but look at this now. Oh, finally, a real chance for Jake all of a sudden. We thought he was under pressure from behind, and all of a sudden he switches attentions to SML Marchetti. These guys all about to start the final lap. What a finale this is going to be across the start-finish line. Jake then having a look. Look how close he is. He's nearly shoving SML. He's got that front wing in the gearbox of the Williamson head. Will he dive for the inside? He sure will. He brakes very late, locks the front tyres, but still is left a frustrated figure and cannot find a way through. It looks to me like it's going to remain as they are at the moment unless there's any late fireworks in the closing laps. What a duel this is between these four drivers. Temp Fear holding them all up. SML, then Jake, then Shortbread. It looks as if though if we had a couple more laps we'd see some fireworks here, but I think this just happened. It's going to end a little too soon for us. Shimasi's now 1.4 back. He's admitted defeat. He must have made an error. An SML car, if he can keep it on the island for just one more sector, he's going to take victory here in the pre-season event. Shimasi, he fought well, but he couldn't do it. And look at this for a duel. It's still going on further down the field, but we have to go to SML car, who's going to take victory here. There's no points at stake. There's no prizes at stake. But I'll tell you what there is. There's bragging rights at stake going into the opening round next week in Melbourne. Be sure to join us there. But right now, with the bragging rights, it's the boys from Spain. It's SML car winning here in Bahrain. He beats Shimasi in the end, with Jake going to be third. Temp is surely going to be fourth, but who's going to take home fifth? An incredible duel in the final corners. Shimasi is across the line second. Jake is going to come home third. Temp over the line fourth. We would think it's a drag race towards the line, but it's going to end the lap as it started. Temp fourth. SML Marchetti is fifth. Jake Davis is sixth. Shortbread seventh. And Softcop on the two stop. It's going to come home in eighth. Technica, I think he was in a battle with Tiger Cart in the closing laps. We couldn't see it. We never saw it. But it looks like he's held on for ninth. And Tiger Cart is going to come home in 10th position. Chumas will be 11th. Stocky's no longer with us. He's just bringing the car around. And he's no longer here. He's lost connection to this session. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that as the fireworks go off to signify the start of the ULC season. Fireworks going off. It's like an Olympic opening ceremony, isn't it? It's the ULC opening ceremony. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But that's it, rounds up the opening pre-season test, the only pre-season test we'll be having for the United League Championship. So you are, SML car winning. There he is, celebrating on the podium. Muted celebrations, I would think, as there's no points up for grabs just yet. But that's a little taster of what's to come next week. Be sure to tune in, by the way, folks, as we have all 20 cars on the grid, all leagues represented on the PS4 for the first time in the ULC, starting next week at the Australian Grand Prix, 8:30 UK time, 50% race. Be sure to join us then. It's going to be a thrilling season, 10 rounds of really exciting inter-league racing. But there you go, SML car takes a victory here in Bahrain in the pre-season test. And they will, well, they've got the bragging rights going into the opening week. Will they start as bookies' favourites? Well, I'll leave that to the bookmakers. They're on top. Shimasi second. He put in a great performance. He looked the quickest out there today. Jake was third. Temp Fair was fourth for the UPL. SML Marchetti was fifth. Jake Davis sixth for TGP. Shortbread seventh was Softcop eighth. Technica was ninth. And Tiger Cart was home in 10th, picking up the final point if there was points at stake. So there you go, folks. Be sure to join us next week and in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. I'm glad you enjoyed tuning in, and be sure to see us next week. Thanks for watching.